Hello, today I'm going to be reading chapter 18 of Takeout by Margaret Maron. And sorry for the late upload. This is like my first actual day of doing a lot of online schooling. So I went a little over what I thought my time that I thought I would need. And also, cat cam! Okay, chapter 18 of Takeout by Margaret Maron. Sigrid leaned back in her chair and gazed at Jack Bloss's sister with such skeptical gray eyes that Fern Woods had to look away. Did your brother say it wasn't an accident? No. Are you sure? The woman hesitated for a long moment, then gave a sigh of capitulation. Marta Constanza didn't trip on those metal steps. Someone pushed her. Your brother? No! Jack would never do something like that. He saw it happen, though. He was up on one of the catwalks when some guy he'd never seen before started up the steps as she was coming down. Jack said that from below, it looked like he'd missed a step accidentally. Even Constanza herself thought it was an accident. But from where Jack was standing, he thought the guy deliberately bumped her, especially since he kept going and never stopped or looked back, even though she was bleeding and people were yelling for an ambulance. And he didn't tell anybody at the time? Miss Woods shook her head. His fling with Charlotte Randolph was over, but they had stayed friends, and he was happy for her big break, especially when she got that great review the next day. No one else was questioning the fall, and he didn't want to rain on her parade. So it could have been a real accident? Maybe. But you don't think so? I wasn't there, she said tearfully. I don't know. All I know is what Jack said, which was, she had a new boyfriend, a big-time mobster. Jack always wondered if maybe he'd sent somebody over to take out Marta Constanza since Randolph was her backup cover. Did he say who the mobster was? Not that I remember. Sigurd glanced at Sam Hentz, who was looking thoughtful. When we found your brother, he had close to $500 on him. He had just come from seeing Miss Randolph, and he knew she was writing her autobiography. Would he blackmail her to keep quiet about that accident? No, Jack was a good man. He wouldn't do that. I'm sure he wouldn't. Even though he needed money for his son? That made her pause. For Jackie? Her eyes filled with tears again, and she reached for a fresh tissue. For Jackie he might. Well, 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 said Hentz when Tilly had escorted Miss Woods from the squad room. Charlotte Randolph and Betty Olds. Did she tell us that he used to come over and ask her to sign his opera programs? Sigurd said dryly. I bet he got more than a signature, said Lowry. Elaine Albee rolled her eyes. So that 500 was maybe the first installment to keep Bloss from wrecking her book? Or to keep him happy till he'd had a chance to eat the pasta she gave him, said Hermanska. See what you can find out, Sigurd told them. Taking the stairs two at a time, an excited Laura Edwards burst into the bedroom as Orla smoothed a final wrinkle from the bedspread. Charlotte Randolph, Orla. She's down there with Nana. They know each other. Who? Charlotte Randolph. She used to be an opera singer. Famous. Putana, Orla snarled, making a rude arm gesture. Laura was startled. She didn't know the word, but she had seen that gesture. Orla? What does she want? Why is she here? I don't know. Nana told me to close the door and come back up here. Why? What's going on? Do you know her too? Why don't you like her? It's not my place to like or not like. She sat down on the edge of the bed. Do this one thing for me, Karamia. Don't upset your Nana by asking questions." She spoke so pleadingly that the girl said, "All right, but only if you tell me why. Will you tell? Will you promise not to tell?" "I promise, Orla. Signor Benito loved your Nana truly and deeply. This you must believe. But he was a man of many appetites. Opera, woman, so—" Laura was wide-eyed with excitement. Charlotte Randolph was his mistress? "You will not speak of this." "I won't, I promise. Poor Nana. But wow, Charlotte Randolph!" Downstairs, Sophia watched as Charlotte walked over to the framed pictures massed on a side table and picked up a formal family portrait. Benny and Sophia with 2-year-old Aria on his lap. She had his curls, didn't she? Was that her daughter who opened the door? She's a blondie, too. "Why are you here?" Sophia asked, reaching for the picture. Charlotte handed it over with a smile and sat down in a nearby chair. "I'm writing a book. The story of my life." "So?" "My whole life." Sophia leaned back in the chair and waited for the blow. "Benny was a part of my life. You know that." Sophia nodded wearily. "I always knew you would not keep your word. If you and I were the only ones left who knew, I would have. But Jack Bloss was there and saw it all." "Who?" "The man who died beside your nephew. Godson. Matty was my godson, not my nephew." "Whichever. Jack Bloss knew that Benny sent someone to cause that accident. He wanted money to keep quiet." "So? This Jack Bloss, he's dead now, isn't he?" "Yes, he's dead. But did the story die with him?" "I doubt it." "So? There are many stories I could tell about Benny, Sophia. I shall tell only one, and I want something from you in return." "You're taking everything and you want more?" "I'm not your enemy and I don't want to hurt you." "Ha! Don't laugh. I mean it. Everyone knew that he slept with many women. He was no more faithful to me than he was with you. But you were his wife, the mother of his child. I won't write anything to hurt that. He adored you. And you bewitched him. The music bewitched him, not me. He thought we were living in a Puccini opera." "A soap opera," Sophia said scornfully. "Possibly. Nevertheless, Sophia mimicked as she faced her old rival. "So what exactly will you write about my Benito?" "Only the truth." "The whole truth?" "Certainly not." And that's chapter 18. And I will see you all tomorrow for chapter 19. Hopefully on time tomorrow. And also, Kitty. And as always, have a wonderful day.